Hello, welcome to our channel. Daily OGT here. We're gonna revisit a band, called Freezing Popsicles or nice pick. Cold Chisel. That's it. Yeah, I know. Give me hell. I don't care. It's all right. We've been wanting to get back to Cold Chisel. And what's the name of the song, OGL? I forget the name of this song, OGL.
That's a song that's been done once or twice, but this is called Wild Thing. And just from what we've seen from Cold Chisel and Jimmy Barnes in particular, I think this will suit them. The song will suit them just fine. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this old classic.
Yes, channel's been a little stagnant for the last couple of days. As you know, we've done a reaction for Simply the Best, Jimmy Barnes and Tina Turner, less than 12 hours before her passing. And we didn't know that, which put us in a rather precarious, weird, unique situation. So,
yeah, so it's a really weird energy about it. But
we feel honored to have done maybe the last tribute possibly to a great legend and queen in rock and roll music and R&B. So that being said, we're gonna shake our thing out a little bit, get a little wild here with some wild thing. And a big shout out to Dr. Cat. She has remastered this video, and we feel honored to. She is kind of a little Aussie legend in herself. We feel honored to collab, if you will, with this kick-ass song.
check her channel out as well.
Yes, and the link to the song and her channel will be in the description below. OGL will help remind me. So the Aussie pub rock thing, we love it. Also for all of our little Aussie nation on the Charismatic Voice, we love you guys. For the couple Kiwis out there still watching, I see you. The lyrics are pretty cut and dry. I mean, it's kind of what we were saying, OGL.
Yeah, not going to be a whole lot of deep diving into the meaning or allegory of these lyrics. It's pretty self-explanatory. But hey, some of the great truths are the most simple.
Man, the song that's really cut and dry about the bird and bees kind of accentuates Jimmy Barnes and all that he is, or all that he was. Let's say, not that he ain't around. He definitely is. It was bad choice words, bad timing. But
I think Jimmy is still. I think Jimmy is still very much Jimmy. Yeah, but hey, there's a wild thing, and she makes his heart sing. What more do you need to know?
I mean, yeah, something about mattresses in Asia. All right, so much love to the Aussie Army. Much love to anybody watching. Let's do this, and much love. All right, so let's get into Cold Chisel via Jimmy Barnes, Wild Thing, sound remastered via Dr. Cat. Ready, OGL?
I could not be readier. Let's do this.
Let's do the damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
I like the cassette tape. Let's go. I'm sorry. we're going to start that over again from get go yonder ways outback. Outback. Damn it. Yeah, the outback. Damn it. So I'm going to say I had the heebie-jeebies there, Robert Plant style. Not trying to compare Jimmy and Robert, but I mean that's not a bad person to be compared to, and to have the vocal freedom to make those orgasmic noises I said Jimmy didn't make in the first reaction to Jimmy Barnes. Yeah. Say what I'm trying to say, OGL.
That's funny because the minute that Jimmy started making those big O sounds, I immediately thought of you talking about Robert Plant making those sounds. So yeah, I got the exact same vibe. Definitely some old school Zeppelin vibes there. Really love the interplay with the guitar with Ian and Jimmy there. Yeah, this I was not expecting a start like this. Yeah, Jimmy is still surprising us after all these songs.
Mr. Ian Moss, yeah.
Yeah, and they're launching right into a pretty killer groove now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. But yeah, that intro was something else.
Already you hear that kick drum, that boom, boy, establishing the rhythm, they getting ready to go, yeah. So sounds great. Love it. I was going to mention the guitar, and I was saying it wrong as in Mosley. It's Ian Moss.
Ian
right?
Moss, yeah.
Okay.
He's got a great
Correct.
sound to his guitar. Really got very full, very robust.
We need to get to Johnny Diesel soon because I get them two confused a little bit for some reason. But
Well, they both work with Jimmy, so yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So
Guys, give us time. We will get all these guys straight. Just a lot of bands, a lot of artists simultaneously. They're all awesome, but we'll get it figured out. We swear.
a lot of influx. Yeah, we've been looking forward to these two as
Oh yeah.
we're gonna. I don't know how they'll come out, but we're gonna do John Farnham. I still don't know how to say it. But damn, we just looked at it. It's a long way to the top if you're
If
gonna
you
rock,
want to rock and
and
roll, yep.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to both of these. Also, just wanted to throw out there that Jimmy getting to do a song about doing the wild thing. I think I already threw that out there. So let's go back.
Let's do it.
Start this thing all over. Recap.
Let's do some rock and rolling.
First of all, oh shit, Jimmy's got his beer.
Sure, it's his first of the night. Positive.
Second of all, I don't give a damn. You want to go all the way back? I have no problems with that. I want to point something out. I can hear the little tingly ear candy, as Elizabeth Shar from the Charismatic Voice would say, a little sticky in my ear, the keyboard. So, well done, Dr. Cap. That was I can hear that very clearly. So, and plus, I just want to see that again. That
Oh yeah.
what I was going to say earlier when I I didn't have anything else to go to, so I went back to the orgasmic sounds, but like my brain should or would. But what I was gonna say is, me and OGL was kind of like not making fun of this song, but like, how the hell is this song's kind of corny in a way. Yeah, I mean, it was cool when I was like 7, watching that baseball movie. I think it was the damn movie with Charlie Sheen in it.
Major League.
Major League, yeah, where he's a wild thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild Man was my handle when I drove escorts. Drove escort trucks, not like escort females.
Important to make that distinction.
Yeah, man, I'm glad y'all are Jimmy Barnes fans, because that'd be up the creek, no damn paddle. All right, let's do it. Let's get back to it. Bro, let's start over, I mean. Solo. I want to back that up just so we go back. So, out the door addiction, there went that. Oh, I love it. Jimmy's in the moment. Yeah, he spilled it. You go ahead, OGL. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. This is a classic example of area in rock where diction really doesn't matter. You know what he's saying, you know the emotional intent, and yeah, the words are just kind of just there for him to springboard into. Yes, like he's mumbling some stuff and he's screaming other stuff at the top of his lungs, and it's awesome in both ways. As I've said this before, I have no idea why these guys don't have more of an international following, because that is like 70s style classic rock at its finest. I just, Ian's sound when he started playing that riff is just monstrous. His lead work is awesome. Jimmy is a bona fide rocker and a screamer with the best of them. This is going to sound weird, but I wonder if it has anything to do with the name. Cold Chisel kind of sounds, it conjures up images of carpentry in the winter. And there's nothing cold about this band. This band is hot as fuck. Pardon my French. But, this... they're on fire. So, I don't know.
May I interrupt you as a humble Tool fan?
Yes, you may.
Chisel, and it's a tool. I mean, so I kind of like the name.
Oh, I think it's a cool name. I'm trying to look at from the point of like a marketing executive or something like that. Like I said, I think names do count for more than people do. People think. Excuse me. I actually might put something out there, sort of explaining one particular instance of this. But yeah, it's just like I can't see anybody listening to this band and thinking, okay, they don't have anything what we're looking for. Especially like around the time of the '80s, this would have fit right in. They would have fit right in with that sound. I think maybe they're a little bit dirtier than music got in the '80s, like, but I can definitely see them, having a solid fan base in America if they got the proper promotion.
I think that's just it, to be honest, and not to be judgmental one way or the other. I think they chose their homeland, kind of like Fordham did, over selling out in their eyes and moving, or in anybody's eyes, to move away, because it ain't like you can just cruise out to LA and cut a record deal and come home. You got all these promotions and obligations and such. And don't ask me why it's LA, and don't ask me why it's USA that you got to come to pretty much be world renowned, because we don't really have any just American bands. I know of a few that I can say, but I have to think about it. I don't hey man, they're American, one of the Tool members is from United Kingdom, so Justin Chesler. So.
Yeah, most of the bands that I can think of have members from multiple nations. Even like I mentioned before, a lot of the bands I remember growing up, I would watch videos for. Like I remember Crowded House and Midnight Oil, and those are those are Aussie bands.
Yes.
But
how do we sleep when our beds?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
My voice is totally screwed up.
It's all good, man. But I think our point being that I think I'm happy the band made their choice. I don't blame them for not wanting to tour all around the world. That is a giant pain, I can only imagine. But I'm glad that they were as successful as they were in their home country. And I'm glad that we have a system now where people like you and me can be introduced to this and enjoy it. And I am definitely enjoying this.
And I can, for one, appreciate it as, quote, Tool lyrics. Some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I certainly could use a vacation from this stupid, silly shit in this 3-ring circus sideshow full of freaks here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. Learn to swim. We'll see you down in Arizona Bay. Arizona don't have a bay unless California falls off in the ocean. So there you go. Good American band showing American fucking pride and hope LA falls in the ocean, because it's a big cesspool of neon distraction. All right, I'll quit quoting Tool. We'll get back to Jimmy.
We went off on a tangent again. Let's get back to Jimmy and Ian.
Would that be a toolgent? Hey. All right, let's get back a little bit. And Ian's guitar, that's a Fender Strat, looks like to me. That thing sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
Will you make everything
Wow. I want to say something. I don't say this lightly, but I didn't put this label on it either. But these guys were grunge before grunge. At least partly of it. I said the very first reaction that the interplay between Ian and Jimmy reminded me a lot of Lane and Jerry, Alice in Chains, and um, the darker lyrics, the more um, stigmata type lyrics and look and style. Yeah, I can see the similarities. Definitely differences as well, but he went out in the audience. That's Eddie Vedder all the way. I have a video about that. It's in fact, I talk about the Australian people and the crowd engagement in that video. I forgot what the hell it's called. It's about Eddie Vedder being a punk or something. Not being a punk. Help me out, OGL.
Okay, so first of all, Ian is working those trills on his lead line. Definitely studied his Tony Iommi, but loving his solo. It's blistering. He's absolutely tearing it up. Wild Thing is the perfect phrase to sum up Jimmy Barnes. I thought of your video the minute he went out in the crowd, because I remember you mentioned before that he reminded you of Eddie Vedder, and I vocally, it's still hard for me to see it, but the minute he jumped out in the crowd, I was like, now he's Eddie Vedder. At one point it looked like he was gonna fall. At one point it almost looked like he was engaging a proud person in a fight or something. It looks like he was just interacting. Got it, but their concerts are so much fun.
Wow, and a lot of you have seen them multiple times, or at least you had the John Farnham. I'm assuming Cold Chisel and Jimmy as well. So.
Yeah, I'm sure those concerts, just people get could release so much energy, just so much fun. I'm very jealous now I wasn't able to ever see this band live. That would be worth a fairly long plane ride, I think. But
I think that the influence of Robert Plant and Led Zeppelin is in rock and roll, period, of course. But
very true.
But I think especially Jimmy and John seem to have been fans, as John warms up with Black Dog, and Jimmy seems to be a newer, grungier version of what Robert Plant is in some ways, not in every way, but he seems to be. If John is, the Aussie John Lennon, then Jimmy is the Aussie Robert Plant. So,
yeah, I feel if you could cross Bon Scott and Robert Plant, you would get something similar to Jimmy Barnes.
Bruce Springsteen. There's something about Bruce and Jimmy.
Yeah, I think so. That working class guy vibe, and just like the no filter between his heart and his mouth whatsoever when it comes to his singing.
Because I'm not a huge Bruce fan, but I'm a huge Jimmy fan. But there's something. I guess it's the look. It's purely the look.
He's pouring sweat. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jimmy's on the entire show. He doesn't strike me as a guy to half-ass anything musically. But yeah, it's like I said, it just looks like you mentioned grunge. This really does much more remind me of classic rock, even down to like the interplay with Jimmy and Ian. Like that's classic, Dio and Blackmore, Angus and Bon, or Angus and Brian, Robert and Jimmy Page. That's classic. Oh, but Elizabeth quality guitarist as a second singer in a lot of these rock and metal bands.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, it's too fun and life affirming to sort of qualify as grunge, which kind of has more of a darker, let's dive into the darker aspects of the human psyche vibe, whereas this has much more of a party vibe to it.
Right.
It's a very aggressive party, but it's a party nonetheless.
Definitely is. And there's a lot of this song left. I just realized that I'm used to a shorter song, so
yeah, I didn't think this. Like just looking at the lyrics, I didn't think it would be that long. But I guess we've got a lot more wailing from Ian and Jimmy to go, so and I for one, I'm down with that.
Yeah, and we may go a little stint here where I don't stop it. So
Yes.
as I'm going to go back to about the 2-minute mark, we're going to watch it go through the crowd again. So let's get back to it.
Yeah, we're going to shut up and let the musicians do the talking here.
Sounds good to me. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, how many of you have the drunk guy in the bar that won't sing in your ear? Slobber on every time. That's what the keyboard is just laughing at. Oh my God. That is rock and roll as fuck, man. I'm telling you what, that is. I don't give a damn what language that is. Cut me out, you two. Don't give a shit. That is badass right there. Yeah, you can see that originated in the bar room, the pub, the good old boys and girls getting down to the music. That's his shirt being open to the interplay between him when he was in the crowd and Ian and keeping each other's rhythm when Jimmy was doing it with his voice and Ian was going off on the guitar when Jimmy was going all crazy as hell climbing his way back to the stage. Ian was keeping the rhythm with the guitar. So if you'll notice that back and forth, I won't back it up, but yeah, OGL, go ahead. I'll start it back where they were just hugging. That was cool.
Jimmy's in the headlocking a friend stage of being drunk, I guess. That's what I thought. And you know, like you said, the other members of the band have to be looking at this, shaking their head, going, "Yep, there goes Jimmy again." But that actually seemed like sort of a struggle for him to get back to the stage. So, but for all of the wildness and antics on stage, like you mentioned, they're keeping it together musically, and that's really impressive. I mean, that's practice, that's experience, that's chemistry.
Muscle memory.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like you said, that is just like when they fell over. It's just like you said, rock and roll is fuck. Just fun and spontaneous and energetic, and yeah, like this is one of those things where like just listening to it is exhausting, but in a good way. I gotta bet these guys are so exhausted after doing a show like this, but so charged up. It's like when you do a really good workout, you're exhausted, but you have all this energy going through. So yeah, but John Farnham of the two is definitely the designated driver, and Jimmy is the guy passed out in the back seat.
Yeah.
And that dynamic works, and I guess for this bit, as you mentioned, that Ian also has a great singing voice. Yeah, he can really, and again, it's a nice contrast because he's got a much cleaner sound than Jimmy is going with here. But I guess Ian performs the designated driver roles for the band
As
here.
Ian could have took over while he was in the audience, he was very reserved and let Jimmy take the wheel for a moment, even if he was the DD. He let Jimmy have a couple laps there.
Yeah, he'll hold the fort down while Jimmy does his thing. Like I said, you can tell they've done this a time or two. But yeah, it's awesome. It's great to see that kind of camaraderie on stage. It's great to see Jimmy out in the crowd with the fans. It's awesome. Like I said, that's like you said, born from the intimacy of like a pub performance. In a giant stadium, it's hard to get that intimacy. So sometimes a smaller venue is best because you can point on and see individual faces. You can touch individual hands. You can talk to individual people. There's something much more human about that.
There
I think
are performers that go back to that as well, and I think that's what draws, or no, not draws, what magnetizes the Australian artists to Australia is that atmosphere of and the camaraderie between the fan base. Because as I pointed out, Australian music, one singer to the next, sound nothing alike. There is no certain sound to Australian music. It's more the feeling and the architecture, maybe.
Spirit, I guess.
The soul, as this is very, very bluesy soul music.
Oh yeah, yes.
Wild rock and count on some power chords too. So there could be a saxophone and an electric guitar playing power chords, and so you could have Robert play in one corner and BB King in the other. I mean Jimmy Page. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Robert. I mean, you can't play a damn guitar for shit. So let's finish this out. We'll go to the end from here. We still got a lot left. Props to Cold Chisel. Yeah. This is like a Oh, this is a longer song. I know some bands that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stamina's
Like that.
impressive. Because there hasn't been like a dull, like from the beginning, from note one, that gas pedal's been floored.
There were probably a lot of females that said, yes, that's what I said. In Australia. I'm just looking out for Jimmy. Me, brother. All right,
We
let's
love you.
get
We
back
really
to
do.
it.
Everything alright, everything alright, every little thing right, everything alright, everything,
Like, share, subscribe. Dr. Cap, check her out. Oh my goodness. This is wow.
What the absolute fuck?
Wow. Take two. Wow.
If I can add something to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah. 3 strikes, you're not out. I mean, there's not a whole lot left to say. OGL, can you look up the drummer, my friend, and the keyboard? At least give them a little nod because they're kicking ass too. We never have. Excuse me. So, Cold Chisel Wild thing is the shit because I wouldn't have thought. Like I was trying to figure out what I was thinking the wrong Wild thing, but I was thinking a cheesy song. And sorry to the Toggles or whoever this was originally by. We looked it up, but
The Trogs,
the
I
Trogs, yeah. We're
Yeah.
not trolling on the Trogs. You know what I'm saying? Great song, but Yeah, you didn't do it like this.
Yeah, this was it's like maybe 1/3 original song and 2/3 just Cold Chisel going nuts.
Yeah, I love it. Though. I love it. I'm glad
Yeah.
this version's.
That's the perfect equation for the song. But real quick here, so the keyboardist is Don Walker, and the drummer is Steve Prestwich.
Steve Prestwich and what was the other?
Don Walker.
Don Walker. It sounds American as hell.
Yeah. It really does. But yeah, props to them for holding down the foundation in the background while Ian and Jimmy are up front doing their thing. Also, props to Jimmy for being willing to share the spotlight with Ian so frequently. He's always going over and hugging him and pulling him over and, singing with him and such. That's very cool to see from a front man.
And maybe in the Tina Turner reaction, possibly Simply the Best, or maybe even in the John Farnham and Jimmy reaction. Anyway, you said you made a comment that Jimmy was being reserved and that if he wasn't trying to hog the mic because something to the matter, if he wanted to, he would just take it probably. And this is a good example of that. If he wants to sing over you, he will. He'll grab you, take you loose from your microphone, drag you down to the ground with it. And you will sing along with him or you will fight him or one or the other. You're not going to do that on stage. So that was beautiful when they got back up. Also, there's a couple scenes later where Ian is shaking his head like that. I think that's to get the slobber out of his ears. But either way, man, this is a great performance.
Even sitting down, those two rock hard, though. That was impressive as well. Just sitting down and just jamming. That's just, again, it's just so much energy, so much fun. That is how you that's how you put your signature stamp on a classic song.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the Angels, and I seen someone made a comment, why are we doing the Angels when there's so many other great Aussie bands? We're going to get to them. The Angels was an earlier request. Yeah. Also,
we've gotten a lot of requests for the Angels. And
the band Johnny D's is in, man. I'm so sorry for not knowing it right offhand.
Again, there's a lot of artists that we're jumping into. A lot of them sort of intermingle with each other. Is just, please bear with us. This is a lot of information to assimilate. And to be quite frank, a lot of it's awesome.
I was going to say, please don't stop it. We do enjoy. I try. In fact, I've seen a couple comments that I haven't replied to, me or OGO, either one. And I tried to reply to every single one. There may get to a point where this is not possible.
But at this point, we will get to you at some point. There may be a bit of a delay. We might skip over you and find you. But if you leave a comment, it's very much appreciated. We will get to you. We will respond. Hopefully as soon as possible. But me and Danny can both get a bit absent-minded at times. So
and if we haven't responded to anything and you've left a comment, give us a nudge, a reminder. Make it show back up in the. I mean, really, I don't care. Nudge it on me. Nudge the hell out of me.
Nudge, wink, wink. Yeah. But it's the summation of this reaction here. The summary, the total of this reaction is basically Cold Chisels is fucking awesome. Just by any standards.
Agreed.
Aussie, international, American rock and roll, they're fucking amazing. So
that's why this is.
Can't wait to hear more of them.
40-minute reaction to a 9-minute song because we love them.
Yeah,
we love them. Really.
There's so much to talk about. Yeah. So we're not going to stop with the Cold Chisel, and we're not going to stop with going down this Australian rabbit hole of awesome music. So again, thank you all so much for bringing these bands and these songs to our attention. Please be patient with us as we work our way down this rabbit hole, because sometimes our digging tools can get broken.
You said so. There is a link to support the channel. A couple links below. There's also a link with our address to send posters. I would love to have a Cold Chisel poster from the wall.
Oh, God, yeah.
That would be Cold Chisel. Hey.
Or just send me a link to Am if there's a place where I can buy one. I'll put out the money for it.
Yeah, whatever. It's hard for us to find Cold Chisel / John Farnham memorabilia in America.
America.
All you good people in Melbourne, let us know. I said it right, didn't I? Hey,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning. We're learning.
Aussie Army, best kind of AA there is.
Oh, yeah.
Mental health is real. But today my mental health was groovy.
Yeah.
Just groovy.
Songs like this are very good. Have a positive effect on mental health, I think. It's the best therapist one could have is a drunk Aussie throwing himself into the crowd. But I'll take that any day.
Any day. And sweat.
Hell yeah.
Here, sweat. All right. Peace out. Much love.
Thank y'all so much.
See you soon.